Alrighty, we are live. How's it going, everybody? So this is a new dynasty, so players who own the game can type join region in chat to select a specific region. Gotcha, so this is during setup, so I think you would do your join he, she, they, and then do join region, maybe. Don't quote me on it. Yeah, how's it going, everybody? Just busted my ass for a 10-hour shift. Okay, I feel you there. I've pulled a couple of those. I think the longest shift I ever pulled was as a fry cook. I worked as a fry cook at a bar. 13-hour shift on a Sunday. It sucked. So I feel you there. Yeah, it's nasty. Yeah, the worst part was my my coworker, who was the guy who was like burger flipping, walked out like midway. Are you one of the states that give time and a half on Sunday? Nope. I am not. I got paid regular wages. My coworker bailed out during the dinner rush because he was annoyed that the waitress was taking orders. And so they luckily managed to get someone else because I hadn't been trained on grill. They had me doing fry cook. I wasn't trained on grill. And I refused to kill anybody with undercooked hamburgers. So they managed to get somebody else in to do grill, and then they fired me the next day. They fired me the next day because we don't have time to train you. It was yeah. Why? Because I didn't step up to the plate and grill for them, I guess. I didn't handle the whole thing solo. So they let me go because we don't have the time to train you, and we need experienced cooks. It's like, how the hell do you think you get experienced cooks? You fucking train them. Yeah. I didn't really care for the job, but yeah. Yeah, because you gotta do multiple people's jobs to get a job. Yep, to get not even that great of a job. I made like $12 an hour. I made like exactly minimum wage. And they are like, yeah, you're doing a 13-hour shift on a Sunday. But yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it is. I agree. Give me 1 sec. Alrighty. Sorry about that. There was a knock at my door. I am back now. Good. Thank you. But yeah, for those who are just popping into the stream, you can join the game with !join and then your preferred pronoun he, she, they. How's CC? She's doing well. She's being a bit of a little shit. I absolutely adore her though. She's decided that the suitcase looks like a suitable scratching post, and I am not convinced. Alright, we've got ourselves a Baron of the March. Baron Little JD09. Hell yeah. I mean, it kind of do... No, it is a suitcase. It is not her scratching post. Neither is the headboard. Yeah, I'm looking at you. It's a good thing she's absolutely adorable. I forgot to even join Lamau. Happens to the best of us. Okay, the headboard I can get behind. Come on. Don't promote her being naughty. It's naughty and she shouldn't be scratching it. When she has 2 perfectly good scratching posts. No, the couch isn't one of them. I'm talking about the 2 things on your little cat tower. But yeah, it's a good thing she's adorable. Like, the headboard isn't a scratching post. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Alright. I'm going to grab water real quick while we wait for one more person. I'm pourable. Yep, you are one of the counts. Again, as I recall. You've been a count before. Alright. I'm going to go grab water, though, so I'll be right back. Give people some time to filter in. Are you not being given enough attention? I got both of us some water. Now you're jumping at my leg. Okay. You've been given pats. And I'm back. Love that cat. Just once earlier last week, but then I couldn't show up for a little bit. Yeah. I did like 4 games. I did the 3 Morgans, and then I did one other, and then I took a small break. But now we're getting back to some more King of the Castle. Alrighty. We've got ourselves 3 nobles, 1 for each of the houses. Welcome back. Also probably going to have to pop out like an hour and a half, because Pathfinder tonight. Hey, let's go. 2nd edition or 1st edition? Let's go ahead and get this underway. Alrighty. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and meet the council. Now that you're the queen, your first duty is to meet with a council of nobles. Your nobles hail from all across the kingdom, the wintry north, the desolate east, and of course, the bleak march. Let's meet the chiefs of the north. Chief Creaking Door 9000. Good luck in the days ahead, your majesty. You'll need it, dealing with us lot. Counts of the East, Count T. Zeiton. An honor to finally make your acquaintance, your majesty. May you escape the doom that befell your predecessor. And Barons of the March, Baron Lil JD09. Hail and well met, your highness. Under your leadership, we'll whip this kingdom into shape. With that, the introductions are done. Dude, I'm Giga Chat. Look at my chin. Hell yeah. Alrighty. Council Hall immediately fills with roaring voices all vying to get your attention. You sigh and sit back. Is this what the council is like? No wonder your father told you to avoid the throne at all costs. Alrighty. So, coronation. Your Majesty, I've scheduled your coronation to take place in a week's time. Why the hurry? To delay any longer would make the nobles restless. And when nobles get restless, they grab their daggers and look for the nearest back. Very well, then what must I do? As is tradition, the council will decide what happens at your coronation. What? But it's my coronation. What region am I in? I got you. Here's our nobles list. It's my coronation. This isn't an absolute monarchy, Your Majesty. Everything has to be run past a council vote, even this. Shall we call the nobles in? All right, nobles. So, we've got a few options here for those who are just joining in. You can vote with exclamation point vote and then the letter during the voting time. So once I hit start vote, you'll be able to put your votes in. And so we've got a few laws that I can also put in. So I can veto, put up a monarch's vote. For example, I can say that, let's see here. We are not going to invite foreign dignitaries over and show off our wealth. So, start vote. Let's see here. Hey, how's it going, guys? Get you, look at my chin. What region am I in? Brother in arms. Media is warning for terror attacks, damn it. Well, that's unnecessarily exciting. Alrighty. So since the time is up, I can choose to just close the vote whenever I'd like. But I'm going to let people give some time to filter in their votes. A few more seconds at least. Alrighty. What kind of coronation should be held for the Queen? We're going to host a lavish parade with jugglers and fountains of wine. I don't know our mission, so I'm trusting you. We don't have the missions yet. We just got through the setup. I see we've got quite a few viewers. You can join with exclamation point join and then your pronouns. Alright, so the coronation is a great success. Jugglers, wine, fireworks, and feast. It has an impact on your treasury, of course, but what doesn't? Hey, let's go. Alright, path to victory. Your Majesty, when you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? Let's see here. What kind of stats are we working with? We've got surprisingly decent military across the board. My authority is base level. My stability is up. Farming is good in the counts, shit in the chiefs. Perfectly average for barons. Yeah, you know what? Let's be a conqueror today. I'm feeling conquest. A warrior queen is sure to be remembered fondly if she wins more battles than she loses. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's overall military as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Alright, so with that, we're going to end the season. And now is scheme time. So, barons. Terrell of the Just a Casual Businessman bloodline, powerful marcher elder, stands before a blazing hearth, shouting and swearing. When have the barons of the March backed down from a fight? Never! I know what you'll do. I know you'll do what it takes to put me, your rightful monarch, on the throne. Barons of the March. This one is on you. Your options are doppelganger, intimidation, or gunpowder. No sorcery this time, I'm sorry. Remember, you can vote with exclamation point vote and then the letter of the option you'd like to vote for. Alrighty. Voting is closed. Vote is gunpowder. Lower authority. The Republic of Kurth has the substance called gunpowder. With enough of that, the barons could take over the kingdom. Of course, a sensible queen would never allow one region to hoard such a thing. To do so secretly, the barons must ensure their trading partners don't fear the queen's wrath. To advance their scheme, the barons must lower authority to 4 or less in 2 seasons. Must just be beefing me. Oh yeah, they do. Also, we have multiple purple-haired usurpers this time, barons and chiefs. Storm of the Creaking Door 9000 clan, well-known northern prodigy, stands precariously on a longhouse crossbeam, screaming like a fallen god. Chiefs of the North! We all know that I should be on the throne, not this imposter Queen Calista. How do we make that happen? So, chiefs, your options are sorcery, subterfuge, or prophecy. And either raise authority, lower stability, or raise authority for your first steps. Alright, sorcery. Voting is closed. Alrighty. The chiefs plan to make a bargain with a wizard. These immortal spellcasters seldom get involved in political squabbles, but perhaps if the queen was considered a threat to their autonomy. To advance their scheme, the chiefs must raise authority to 5 or more in 2 seasons. Counts. Martine of the Vemur dynasty, infamous reformed cultist, leans delicately on a podium, speaking in a melodious voice. My fellow counts, in ancient times the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false queen Calista wears the crown. So, what is it going to be, counts? Your options are Uprising, raise the treasury, Ascension, lower own faith, or Possession, lower own defiance. So what's it going to be, counts? What sounds fun to you? What's our stats? Here you go. Also, I probably need to re-enable the plugin, don't I? Shame on me. Give me a sec. I just realized that. Because I uninstalled the plugin for a moment because it was getting in the way of other streams. Activate. Set as overlay 1. Okay, there we go. Now, you all should have an overlay. You may need to refresh your page. But that should tell you what faction you're a part of as well as your money. Ascension. Lower own faith. Interesting. And the counts stand united. We shall ascend! Ascend with Gorb! The counts plan to induct the queen into their secret cult and offer her immortality in exchange for the throne. First, they must reduce the power of the Eastern Church. To advance their scheme, the counts must lower their faith to 4 or less in 3 seasons. It's not a cult. Alright, so we've got 2 bastard offshoots in pink, and then we've got Martine the Distant Cousin. Warning, the monarch has no heir. Yeah, it's fine. It's the first season. So now I get to choose a new law that I can put into place, and I think I'm going to go with the monarch's golden choice. And back, what did I miss? Just people picking their schemes. So, we have Gunpowder Scheme for the Barons. Their goal is to lower authority to 4 or less in 2 seasons. The Sorcery Scheme for the Chiefs. Their goal is to have authority be 5 or higher in 2 seasons. And Ascension for the Counts. They want to lower their own faith to 4 or less in 3 seasons. So, Honor Guard. Good news, Your Majesty. I have received a vision. I saw you bathed in holy light, blades and missiles crumbling to dust before they could reach you. You do not need to recruit an honor guard. The 9th god will shield you from all harm. I've never seen the 9th protect someone from a sword through the chest. You need tangible guards, Your Majesty. Alright. Tell me about the Northern Warriors. Bearded oafs with axes and no manners. They'll get drunk and cause trouble in the palace. No discipline at all, and I can't guarantee they won't run off on some random quest. But they're honorable, and in a fight, unbeatable. Tell me about the Eastern Knights. The Order of the Drowned Rose are highly respectable. They'll understand palace etiquette, but it's been years since they fought an actual battle. They mostly write poems these days. Tell me about the Veterans of the March. These soldiers have fought more battles than they've had hot dinners. They'll be uncouth, no doubt, and won't adapt well to life in the palace. But they're loyal and tough as nails. Pick the 9th god. I don't think that was an actual option for me. We would have needed to bring the Grandees so that way I could get the warrior nuns. I wait your verdict with bated breath, Your Majesty. Wait. What? Interesting. So, if I choose any honor guard, It lowers faith. Really? That is fascinating. Because I had the High Inquisitor come to me, if I pick an honor guard... yeah, I don't need an honor guard. Your Majesty, I must protest in the strongest possible terms. The nobles will consider this an insult to their warriors' prowess. And more importantly, without an honor guard, you're totally unprotected. Is your life worth so little to you? I'm willing to risk it. Fine. No doubt the common folk will see this as a sign of strength. Don't blame me when you wind up on the wrong end of an assassin's blade. At last! A queen who trusts in the ninth! You have nothing to fear, your majesty. Your enemy's arrows shall miss, and their sword shall falter. Let's go ninth god. Ain't that a meme? Alright, low on lumber. Count T. Zeiton. Your majesty, will you tell these superstitious barons to get over themselves and let us harvest their trees? We need the wood for our craftspeople. Baron Lil JD. I've told you 1,000 times, Count. That forest is thoroughly haunted. You'll damn us all if you go logging there. But you sold us a logging contract, and said contract has no exclusions for haunting. So some counts have had their wealth decreased, and the barons have gained some wealth. It's just good business. Your Grace, the barons can't be allowed to wiggle out of their commitments. So, we can either have the counts have a contract and may go logging, let them harvest the lumber, but share the proceeds with the barons, turn the forest into a joint Eastern Marcher hunting reserve, or fence the area off to make sure no one goes near it. I'm going to veto C. Aside from that, go ham. This is extortion. See, some people want to do the authority check. Okay. Alright. Fencing off the area to make sure no one goes near. Counts seem to be outvoted. I didn't see the counts vote. But my lumber! I paid for that! Authority challenge succeeded. Defiance is now grumbling. Give it a rest, won't you? The council has spoken. It's for your own good. When it's clear the council won't reconsider its position, Count T. Zeiton slinks back to the east. The haunted forest falls back into obscurity and legend. And the jousting tournament. Your Majesty, the Barons of the March have invited you to a jousting tournament. How delightfully rustic. I'd love to attend and support a knight. The Chancellor inclines their head politely. It wouldn't be my ideal day out, Your Majesty, but I'm sure you will have a marvelous time. Alright, so with that, we're at the end of the season. Also, I'm half asleep. Hey, it be like that, Vermeer. Sometimes it be like that. Alright, so, for this section, nobles, you'll be able to bid on buildings using your personal wealth once I start the auction. You can fund your preferred building with exclamation point fund, then the letter of the building, and then the number of gold you would like to give to it. So, let's begin. What would you like built? So far we've got the monument for 1, the theater for 300, Ooh, counts trying to strike deals with nobles from other regions already. So far, we've got 15 seconds left. We've got the theater at 600 and C which is the monument at 1. 301 coming in for the observatory. 400 coming in for C. Oh, it's close. It's coming down to the wire. Time is up. We had a few snipers in there trying to get it right at the last second. So we have Lil JD as the main funder for the theater, and then Creaking Door 9000 as the sole contributor to the monument. All right, end of the season. Let's see here. Finding a spouse. In the twisty passages of your castle, you can avoid your advisors, the nobles, even the spy master. But there's one person you can't avoid. Your mother. Why haven't you found a spouse yet? It's been almost a year. Is it really that urgent? Of course! Don't worry, I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What's your preference? Men, women, or do you not mind? Men? Excellent. I'll send out messengers to the most influential noble families in the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. Alright. The favored competitor. The barons have assembled upon a jousting field, watching from tall stands. The place is buzzing with excitement. Baron, just a casual businessman. Welcome, one and all. We have a most thrilling guest today. Cheering erupts, and the nobles stamp so hard that the stands tremble. My liege, the highest-ranked knights of the tournament are applying for your favor. First is Baron Lil JD09, the Cunning, who won every bout last year. Some claim that he cheated, but surely they're just jealous. Second is Bertha. No one thought she would succeed this year, but she's obviously trained hard. People are calling her the underdog. Last is Count Vermeer, interloper. A surprise foreign contestant, but he qualified nonetheless. So, Your Highness, who will you favor? Ooh. We either do Lil JD, Bertha the Underdog, or Count Vermeer the Interloper. We'll go with the Underdog. I always love a good underdog story. You beckon her forward and affix the ribbon to her chest. The crowd cheers as she rides to the starting post. Let's see here. We will nod austerely. Bertha looks a bit worried, but bows again. The bout begins. Count Vermeer, her first opponent. Their horses stamp as the two jousters glare at each other from across the field. Have at you! The jousters gallop towards each other. Bertha's lance catches Vermeer in the shoulder, but does not unseat him. But he is weakened. On Bertha's next charge, she hits Vermeer right in the chest. The horse stumbles, then throws him into a heap in the dust. Bertha wins the day, claims a hefty cash prize, is on track to win the entire jousting championship. Hey, let's go. The underdog. Alrighty. And easing the tension. Your Majesty, nobles of the council. Tensions are running high, but the kingdom itself is stable. Perhaps it's time we forget our past troubles and come together as friends. Of course! Come on, nobles, we can all be friends here. Count Vermeer, I see you're doing all right despite the recent injury. What do you have in mind, Chancellor? We could exchange gifts, or hold a friendly competition, a fashion show, perhaps, or a game of riddles. Your Majesty, why don't we hold a vote on a team-building exercise to help you and the council trust each other again? Alright, so we can either do an exchange of gifts, a friendly fashion competition, a game of riddles, and, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'm putting you all in the friendship shirt, you know, the funny, comically large, you know, like, white, maybe even paint splattered shirt. Yeah, you're going in the friendship shirt. What's it gonna be? Putting you all in the get along shirt. Alrighty. Voting is closed. Game of riddles could be fun. Wonderful. I'll make the arrangements at once. The nobles can work together on the riddles, with a hefty cash prize if they can get it right. The nobles of the council begin murmuring. This is a chance to prove the sharpness of their wits. They better brush up on their riddles. Alright. That would come to the end of the season. In a distant fortress, amidst dark and foreboding forests, a small, squat castle stands watch over the Marcher border. There, at the end of the kingdom, a plot is hatching. Baron, just a casual businessman. Have the merchants from Kurth arrived with the gunpowder? Baron, little JD. Not yet. They still fear the Queen's reprisals, not to mention their own government. Then our work is not done. We need to weaken Queen Calista's grip. Baron's aim is to lower authority to 4 or less. Recruiting a wizard. Far to the north, Chief Creaking Door 9000 sits before a roaring hearth, 2 enormous wolfhounds lying at his feet. A shadow darkens the door. The hounds whimper and flee, tails tucked between their legs, as a skeletal figure steps into the room, accompanied by the jingling of 1,000 tiny bells. Okay, this is a new wizard.
My apologies. I have that effect on dogs. Their ears are so sensitive.
Burst? Is that his name? Burst? I was not expecting this bony boy.
Why did you call this meeting? I may be immortal, but my time is still more precious than yours.
I thought we might have a common goal. The Queen has been overstepping her bounds recently, hasn't she?
That's true. The Watch tried to turn me away from my favorite bakery last week, simply because my presence shattered all the windows in a mile radius. I'll help you. Those fig rolls are worth committing regicide for, but first you'll need to take care of the bees.
Did you say bees?
Yes. In the Dreamlands, they call themselves the Dreams of Being, and they're a deadly foe, even for a wizard. Of course, their waking selves just tend to buzz about and pollinate flowers. They love all kinds of royalty, protect them from magical threats, but they won't harm non-magical folk, beyond the occasional sting.
For the next stage of their scheme, the chiefs must lower all regions' combined farming to 14 or less in 4 seasons. Alright, now there's also the trade bonus. The higher your region's trade stat, the more likely you are to get the trade bonus for your region. And so the trade bonus was the counts sell unused tracts of land to the Adventurers Guild for 500 wealth. Other nobles gain 200 wealth. Alrighty. So, do we toy around with the taxes? Do we just really rake in the dough? Because, admittedly, that riddle competition, my coffers are feeling kind of light here, nobles. You know, we might need to help fill up the treasury a little bit. You know, just to make sure that we don't go bankrupt or anything. So I have to bring up a formal complaint about the barons extorting us. Maybe the jester will lower tensions. I wanted to exchange gifts. This is true. I'll give you 10 cents if you don't overtax me. How do you... Okay. While I'm all for taking bribes, I do not have the means on hand yet. I'm not an affiliate on Twitch, so you couldn't give bits, and I don't have a Patreon or anything like that. So I can't take bribes. But, just know for the future, I might. Only kidding, of course. We'll do common tax. I see no reason to tax you all too harshly. No, simply keep the common tax. Alright. Ooh. Game of riddles. Your Majesty, I've asked the court jester to help us with our game of riddles. Someone mentioned jester, you say? 10 cents worked. The promise of a potential 10 cents later. Fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dum. Let's test our wits and have some fun. Oh. Oh no. Prithee, what walks on four legs and the...
Man, it's man!
By my honor, that was an easy one. You're canny riddlers after all. Have pity on this poor old fool. But since the council's mood is nigh funeral, I shall break out some new material. Over the next hour, the jester capers around the council hall, posing riddles and occasionally hitting Chief Creaking Door 9000 with an inflated pig's bladder on a stick. Finally, he sings out the final and most difficult riddle of all. My mountains are flat, my rivers are dry, my cities are empty, and sometimes I lie. What am I? So, something that begins with C, something that begins with D, something that begins with M, or something that begins with S. I'm a true tyrant, baby. Nah. I'll kid. It's a friendly game of riddles. I'll let you all do as you may. Anyway, the answer wasn't map, it was a cartographer's product, so you should have gone with something that begins with C, totally. You know what, fuck you, I want to vote B. You do you. Voting is closed. Something beginning with M. What say you, your majesty? Dost thou agree with thine council members? Yes, I think they're correct. Wise you are indeed, I must humbly concede. The answer is... a map! The council's wisdom has left me in awe, and what's more, it's left the queen poor. Jester cartwheels out of the council hall, leaving the nobles to celebrate their victory and sharing their cash prize amongst themselves. So, everyone got a little extra money. Eligible options. Alright, let's see what you got. I found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young man from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely, you'll be securing a powerful alliance. What if I don't want to marry any of them? That's a decision that can wait until after you've seen them, isn't it? Your mother leads you to the Great Hall, where she's arranged 3 portraits on easels. For now, each is covered by a cloth. Alright then, let's see the eligible bachelors. She whisks away the cloth from the first portrait. This is Asgal, firstborn son of the Northern Creaking Door 9000 clan. Apparently, the other Northerners have nicknamed him Windspeaker. Can't imagine why. Even among the Northerners, he's made something of a name for himself as a fearsome warrior. People say he nurses a grudge, though. I can see the appeal, I suppose. This is Grigor, the eldest son of the Eastern T-Zitan dynasty. In his youth, he ran off and tried to join a circus. They found him in the end, thank the Ninth. He had a laboratory installed in his castle and spends most of his time there conducting bizarre experiments. He's always planning something, they say. Schemes within schemes. He's an intriguing candidate. And finally, we have the March's offering. Martin, scion of the prestigious Just a Casual Businessman bloodline. A typical baron, really. Loud and brash and self-absorbed, but mostly well-meaning. Like most of the barons, his great passion is hunting. No beast is safe from his crossbow. Give him half a chance and he'll expound at length on how he should improve the lot of the peasants. Sounds like a laugh. What do you think? Of course, by picking a candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you'll gain a lifelong alliance. Ooh. I can't deny. The factions, you know, they came on strong today. We got some solid suitors here. We've got Asgal the Windspeaker, fearsome warrior who nurses a grudge. Got Grigor with his sick mustache, the mad scientist who once tried to join a circus in his youth. but he's always planning something. Schemes within schemes. And then finally, the march is offering Martin. Prestigious scion, loud and brash and self-absorbed, but worries for the good of the peasants. My son looks like the Pringles guy. I don't know. I can't deny Martin's putting up a pretty strong front here. That's a very powerful beard, you know? He's got a whole beard-mustache combo going on, you know? Great passion is hunting. Expand at length about improving the lot of the peasants. His mustache ain't shit. Ooh. Brave words. Brave words from the counts. Let's see here. Alright. Let's see. Hi there. How's it going, Caffeine Forge? We are picking a suitor for Queen Calista. And let's see here. I think we are going to go with Grigor. Game seems to love making me a chief. It be like that sometimes. Alright. I'll make the arrangements. We went with the man with the very powerful mustache, Grigor. Alright, and a new petition. Bertha. She was the knight from the joust. My jousting victories have made me famous all across the march. In fact, the people of my hometown, Zerbamar, want to build a statue in my honor. You'll donate to the project, won't you? So we can either build a statue for Bertha, put her to work training marcher troops instead, or jousting is tiresome now, we should have more popular contests like rowing. Yeah, we're not... I'm sorry. I'm sorry, March. We are not building a statue for Bertha. Even if the counts lose, we've won. I mean, technically, because your child who would succeed me, potentially, would be of count descent. Alrighty. It's a close vote so far. We got a little bit more distance going. Also, 2 new chiefs. Let's go. Alright, voting has closed. Put her to work training marcher troops instead. Some barons are disappointed, but Bertha thrives in brushing up the march's military. How useful jousting will be in pitched battle remains to be seen. Military challenge succeeded. Military is now powerful. Let's go. Alright, that's the end of that season. Hiding from the church. In a tiny village far to the east, 2 counts meet in a derelict tavern. No one dares even glance in their direction. Count Vermeer. The church still has the east thoroughly in its grasp. Count Zeiton. Yes, but by the blood of the dead, it's not over yet. The count's aim is to lower their faith, to 4 or less. Alright. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and pick up Monarch's Iron Choice. Alright. Oh boy. Crystal Pox is back. We'll deal with that in a sec. Your wedding to Grigor is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. It feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Grigor at your side.
Do you take this man as your lawfully wedded husband?
I do. Say no for the lulz. I'm tempted to try it at some point, but not this time. Not today.
Then I pronounce you queen and husband.
After the wedding, of course, there's a feast, and after the feast, a dance. Your new husband, Grigor, dances so vigorously that he spills wine all over himself. Let's go! By the time you find yourself alone with your gore, it's past midnight, and you've never felt more tired.
Good God, I am so drunk, and yet somehow not drunk enough.
Time for more wine. Servants, bring us wine.
Ha ha! That's the spirit.
Shall we go to bed together?
No time like the present, eh?
He swigs back the last dredges of his wine and leads you to bed.
Let's go!
It's a successful wedding night. Alright, the Crystal Pox. Chief Moonra from Poland. Your Highness, I bring bad news. An outbreak of Crystal Pox is ravaging the north. Crystal Pox? What's that? A most terrible disease, Your Majesty. It begins with a rash of boils, which slowly and painfully crystallize until the poor victim is sparkling like a diamond. Eventually, the sufferer becomes a crystalline statue. Painful, but admittedly glamorous way to go. How many dead? Whole villages have succumbed. The disease is terribly virulent. Treasurer, Your Majesty, if I may make a suggestion? Victims of the crystal pox are only infectious at the boils stage. Once they are fully covered in crystals, they no longer spread the disease. Also, Moonra from Poland, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Indeed, the pox crystals can be harvested and used in jewelry. If we allow the pox to spread, we can make money in the north. By the old gods, woman, that is heartless, even for you. The only way to fight the pox is to close the roads and shut down all trade until the wave subsides. Is that what you want? For the north to lose money? So we can either spread the crystal pox and harvest gems. Don't do anything one way or another, or quarantine the north to prevent further spread. Alright. We're not just gonna do nothing. So, we're doing something. We are either going to quarantine, or we're gonna be heartless. And I leave that up to you. How's everyone's day going so far? It's been pretty good. Got off work, came home, did some chores, taking care of my cat, and yeah, now we got a stream. Depending on how long this game runs, I may have to go for a bit, because it is my my mom's birthday today, and so I've got to go and eat dinner with them at the very least, you know. All right, we got the vote. So we are going to intentionally spread the crystal pox and harvest the gems. Oh boy! Painting miniatures and part I'm doing is an absolute headache, but it's still fun. There. This is an outrage! How many will die for your greed? How could the council condone this? The next day, you deliver a speech declaring that the crystal pox is actually a giant hoax, and anyone who believes in it is a fool and probably a traitor. Sure enough, this causes the pox to spread like wildfire. Over the next few months, the crystal pox ravages not just the north, but the entire kingdom, with thousands of peasants falling victim. Farms lie fallow, peasants turn away from a god that's abandoned them. Wow. Jesus. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have gone with that, because that was the perfect storm. Farming lowered for the chiefs, faith lowered for the for the counts, military lowered to hinder me with my military goal. Brutal. You can all die for my greed, but more importantly, for magic. Faith is now irreverent, stability is now stable. Oof. On the bright side, you add a sparkling hoard to the treasury. In fact, all the nobles make a tidy profit, even Chief Moonra from Poland. How are your morals feeling now, Moonra? Where's the last event? There we go. An infestation of crawlers. Chief Caffeine Forge. Your Highness, our mutual friend, Count T. Zeiton, has discovered a nest of crawlers on a new tract of eastern farmland. Naturally, we chiefs recommend he fill the tunnels immediately, lest they spread to other regions and endanger our crops, but T. Zeiton refuses to do so. Count T. Zeiton. Serfs have gone missing, Your Grace. These crawlers are much more dangerous than they appear. Legends speak of crawlers living in great cities beneath the soil, taking the weak to be consumed. We should leave the land to them. They are not to be trifled with. Marshall, tell me more about these crawlers. Horrible, cow-sized worms that live under the earth, with tiny, clacking legs like centipedes. They're rare but formidable foes. They turn up unpredictably and attack whatever they find before retreating back to the earth. Nothing that well-organized troops can't handle, I'm sure. Assemble the council. Thank you, your greatness. Alright. So we can either abandon the fields to the crawlers, fill in the holes and continue farming, or send someone into the tunnels to investigate. Alright. So, I know some of you hate my authority, and so I'm going to put this here because, by golly, if we are going to raise defiance, I am going to make sure I have the authority to control it. So we are either not raising defiance / authority, or we are doing, well, that. Anything other than A? Yeah, that's my thought process. That Monarch's Iron choice is there to dissuade. And yet, even with me trying to dissuade, my monarch, would you be fine with improving the kingdom's stability? We may need to consider improving stability. But luckily, I've got authority enough to hang on to. Let's see here. Okay. Alright, Chief Caffeine Forge. Gods be good, you're just going to try to ignore them? Mark my words, this problem isn't going to go away if you just try to bury your heads in the snow. Alright. Authority is now iron-fisted, defiance is now aggrieved, cordial, and cordial. Or apparently that didn't raise defiance over in there. The commoners don't have to be told twice. The land around the newly discovered tunnels is abandoned overnight, villages and all. Only a few lookouts, caretakers, and T. Ziton himself remain. Farming is now meager. Trade is now struggling. Countryside goes silent for a long time, with the crawlers making no appearances above ground. Alright. Literal barren pain at the moment. Monarch, throw us a bone, please. You see, if we raise stability, I can afford to lower my authority. The current issue is our chiefs have a lot of defiance, and so if I don't maintain authority, we end up with a rebellion on our hands. Another third stage for Chief? It may very well be, but I have to try and hold on to make sure that there's, minimal rebellions. Whispers rise in the east of secret society gatherings, shrouded in mystery in an abandoned tower beneath pale moonlight. One such meeting begins. Count Fameur. Another priest left my estate today. He said there was no sense preaching to the truly lost. Count Ziton. I've heard the same across the east. We are no longer trapped under the church's thumb. Now we must not falter. If the queen grows proud, we can offer her the ultimate reward, immortality. Shit. Wait a minute. Hold up. Only 5? Okay. Barons, we may have to do something about this. Crap. Uh-oh. Pox in the capital. Your Majesty, the crystal pox has spread from the north to the capital itself. Hundreds of our citizens have succumbed. Our streets are covered in the glittering statues of the afflicted. Stability goes down. No more conquest? I have to try for conquest, but we decimated the military by letting the plague run rampant. How did this happen? Well, Your Majesty, a swift quarantine of the north may have prevented this, but the council declined to take action. In any case, a rumor has spread amongst the peasants. They believe the only cure for the crystal pox is the Queen's touch. Well, that won't be happening. In your shoes, I'd say the same, but, Your Majesty, the common folk are absolutely convinced. If you don't heal a few of them, they may storm the palace just to get their hands on you, or rather, your hands on them. Let them try. I think you're underestimating the power of the common folk, Your Majesty. Terrified peasants can cause a lot of damage. Yes, but I'm protected by the Ninth, remember? I don't have an honor guard or anything. The Ninth provides. I suggest we look to the council for guidance. So, the queen should lay hands upon a token few of the infected. 95% chance. What is that? Huh? Queen should lay hands on as many infected as possible. Triple the security around the palace until this all blows over, or we could just let the crystal pox run its course. Oh, wow. I hate all of these options. The Ninth is your protection? Yes. When I went to pick an honor guard, the High Inquisitor was like, no. The Ninth will provide protection for you. You don't need an honor guard. So if I picked any honor guard at all, it would have lowered faith across all regions and instantly given the Counts stage 1 of their scheme. So I chose to not down with the defenseless king. Yeah, I had to try and keep the Counts from immediately stage 1ing into stage 2, apparently, because jeez. Ah, jeez. As for this, though, if you want money, it's on A. If B fails, it might lower authority. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure if a check fails, it lowers the stat, like, corresponding to it. So I think if I touch as many infected as possible, and thus there are some that don't get cured, or recover, essentially, then stability would go down as they realize there is no hope, basically. I think that's how that would go, if that didn't work. Alright. The Palace Watch brings a small number of carefully vetted peasants into the palace. Each of them has a solid character reference and an appropriately tragic backstory. Orphans, widows, etc. Challenge succeeded. Thank you kindly for this, Your Majesty. They are pitiable to behold, each encrusted with oozing boils and crystalline growths. You pass down the line, touching them solemnly on the forehead, then they are ushered out of the palace. Turns out you can't really cure it. The crystal pox continues to ravage the capital, but the legend of your personal intervention spreads far and wide. Soon, half the kingdom believes in your healing touch. God damn it. If A succeeds, it might improve it. Yeah. When the pox finally passes, gemstones litter the streets, but the people are too busy mourning to pick them up. The treasurer has her servants collect them under cover of darkness. Wow, she is so evil. What the hell? Okay. I like the treasure. She's wicked, straight up. She's like, yeah, let's intentionally spread the plague to make money. And now the treasury's fat. Are we supposed to get authority down? No. Counts, you wanted authority to be at least 5. Not below 5, just 5 or higher. And I've been trying to keep control of the chiefs so that way they don't rebel. And now we're essentially forcing the barons into, they kind of are going to have to rebel if they want a chance. So, which I don't like. I'm trying to prevent rebellions, but in so doing, we are pushing the barons towards it, essentially. Spymaster. Your Majesty, we've been hearing disturbing rumblings from the university. They've been eating partridge again. You believe the scholars at Quail... You give the scholars at Quail too much leeway, Your Majesty. Are they plotting something? Their secret nighttime meetings in the library certainly suggest so. The rumor is they're examining the rules of succession, the very rules that put you on the throne. Who knows what conclusions that may come to. So we can either leave the scholars to their work, they're harmless, we need a spy to uncover their secrets, or summon a scholar immediately. So, let's see here. I'll just leave it be. You need to anger the counts. True. Alright, all nobles have voted. Votes are in. Voting is closed. We shall leave the scholars to their work. They're harmless. The scholars of Quill University are left to their secretive work. Rumors grow that the Queen's legitimacy is in question. Authority goes down to iron-fisted. Requisitioning rare reagents. Grigor, my husband.
Ah, Calista, I've come to ask a favor. I recently purchased a very rare reagent from one of my alchemical studies. The pickled finger of an ice giant. Lamentably, it's been delayed. I was buying it from Chief Moonra from Poland. It'd be a great favor to me if you could chase it up on my behalf.
I'll look into it.
How exquisite! Let me know how you fare.
Summon Chief Moonra from Poland to the council chamber the next day to talk in private. Hello, Your Highness. What can I do for you? I need to buy the pickled finger of an ice giant. Oh, you've come on behalf of your husband, haven't you? Unfortunately, I can't give you the giant's finger just yet. Giant's remains are sacred in the north. I had to take this one's finger in secrecy. Your husband paid quite a lot for the privilege. The problem is, some of the other chiefs have suspicions about what I did. They're threatening to have me punished. If you still want this accursed finger, you have to promise to keep me safe.
Just give me the finger, or you'll know the meaning of punishment.
Fine, but for me to just deny any involvement... Better for me to just deny any involvement at this point. Grigor receives the giant's finger before the week's end. He is most pleased with it. You don't hear anything from Chief Moonra from Poland after your meeting, but you're certain nothing good has happened to him. Moonra, you're fine, right? You're fine. Alright, so, end season. Alright, it is auction time, baby. So, let's begin. Here are your options. Moonra's fine. We didn't get a notification that Moonra II joins the council or anything. I think they just had to pay some penalties to their fellow chiefs. 40 seconds remaining. We've got 50 on B, lowering authority. Stadium lowering military. Oh wait, who's lowering my military? Excuse you. I need that military. Ooh, we got F coming in with some bonuses to authority. Four, three, two, one. Time's up. Alright, buildings funded. Theater. Funded entirely by Lil JD09. And the monument funded by Count Vermeer. Alright. About your heir. Your marriage to Grigor has grown strong and steady, like an old castle wall, that began as a political arrangement and blossomed into something more like love. It's high time you thought about an heir. Congratulations are in order. The royal wedding was a magnificent affair.
I'm very happy, thank you. Your happiness isn't as important as fulfilling your duty to the kingdom, but I'm glad you found a way to have both. You've done well so far, but something's still missing. An heir. You need someone young, whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do the trick, even if they're a bastard, or the youngest of your many cousins. Pretty sure I have a bastard child laying right here. I'm sorry, you think? Respectfully, Queen Calista, you are the one who has to put out the air, to put it nicely. I'm pretty sure you know if you had a bastard laying around. My husband and I will have a child together. Ah, the traditional method. No one will object to that. I'll arrange for you to take a month off from ruling so you can get down to business. Alright. Famine. Hello, Your Majesty. I've traveled all the way from the north to beg you to do something about the price of grain. I can't afford to feed my family. A day of back-breaking work isn't enough to buy a day's worth of bread. Chief Caffeine Forge. She's right. The grain price in the north is beyond all control. Greedy merchants rake in profit while the common folk starve. So we can either put a cap on the price of grain, subsidize the grain and ensure it's sold for half its worth, and the free market will correct itself in due time. Let's see here. I'm not a fan of lowering stability, but it does up farming. And I don't really want to do the authority challenge necessarily, but we'll see. Ooh, Chiefs split immediately. Looks like they're wanting to put a cap on the price of grain. Alright. Voting is closed. Gonna put a cap on the price of grain. Place a strict price cap on grain. When the wily merchants find a way around it, you order a few of them hanged as examples to the rest. Trade is now destitute. This short, sharp lesson does wonders. Soon enough, grain is cheap again, and no merchant dares to say a word. Hopefully most of the peasants will stay alive until the next harvest. Okay. That's not what I wanted. I feel like that sometimes. Crawler crisis continues. Yeah, I have a decent bit of authority, which I've had to keep making use of, despite the fact that I am trying to not have it. Also, I see we've got a few new viewers. For those who are just tuning in, you can join at any time with the exclamation point, he, she, they. That'll put you into one of our factions. Now then, Count T. Zeiton. Your Majesty, I'm in danger. Those crawlers beneath my farm are called Valgar. I've been doing some research and I've learned frightening things. But first, I need access to the secret library at Quail University. There must be more information there. Oh, and I need soldiers to protect my family. The Valgar are watching me. Baron, just a casual businessman. Never mind all that, Your Majesty. Waves of refugee peasants are fleeing the crawler lands and overrunning the march. We need support. Let's see here. We will vote on Count Zeiton's request. You'll prioritize this fool over the march in its entirety? What a sham! Though you try to persuade them to stay, a contingent of barons close to Baron just casual businessmen leave in a huff for the march to sort out their own problems. Alright, so let's see here. We're going to veto... Actually, so we can either provide protection for Count T. Zeiton's home and family, force the other counts to provide lodgings for him, or allow him to stay at the university and continue his research. Up to you all. Also, Chiefs scheming? Question mark.
Alrighty. Voting has closed. We will allow him to stay at the university to continue his research. T-Ziton is very grateful, showing little regard even for his own family still in the east. He makes the move before the end of autumn. Alright then. The Dreams of Being. Up in the north, Chief Creaking Door 9000 and the wizard Burst are enjoying a grand feast together. Any glassware has been carefully replaced with ceramics.
Well done. The endless buzzing is much quieter now. You have served me well. As a reward, I have gifted your army a magic symbol which, when struck, can rust all metal within 1,000 feet. Use it wisely.
Chief Creaking Door 9000. My thanks, great wizard. Now, shall we discuss how to overthrow this troublesome queen? Your options are curse her with a fate worse than death, raise trade, or send her far away so she can never return, raise stability. Caffeine Forge voting for A, trying to convince his fellow chiefs. Chief Moonra from Poland voting A as well. Alright, and the chiefs are unanimous. Fate worse than death. Their goal is to raise trade.
Worse than death. Well, it can be done, but I will require an additional fee. Enough gold to sink a galleon, perhaps. That is a good start.
Gods be good, I thought we'd already sealed the deal.
As a wizard, I'm the one who gets to decide when the deal is sealed. Sorry, that's just the way it works.
For the final stage of their scheme, the chiefs must raise their trade to at least 5. Alright, so. Trade bonus. The barons invest wisely in the fur trade, making 500 wealth. The other nobles gain 200 wealth. Let's see here. So, we've got a lot of pretty wealthy nobles, I can't deny. But admittedly, the royal treasury isn't exactly hurting for money. But let's go ahead and... You know what? Let's make some money. Let's make some money today. And I will not be convinced otherwise. Alrighty. Let's see here. You called the treasure evil? Yeah, I want your gold to, you know, keep my crystalline statues company. Also, Jeremy, hello. Welcome to the stream. Alrighty, let's see here. Prying eyes. Count Vermeer, Your Grace, you are, of course, the greatest queen of this century. It's true. Exactly, indeed. I'm sure that soon all will kneel before you. But your power could be even greater. Death comes for us all. But what if it didn't have to? What if you could be the greatest queen for all millennia? I don't know if that's even possible. There you may be wrong, Your Grace. I happen to possess some knowledge that may interest you greatly. There are opportunities beyond what any of us had imagined, if you're strong enough to take them. I can arrange more meetings, that way we may discuss this matter further. The door bursts open. Hi, Inquisitor. Ah, so he got to you first. No matter. The Counts have agents everywhere, and they've been building up your strength.
But there's something more sinister afoot. Their ultimate aim is to recruit you into a cult of immortal blood drinkers. What a tale. All we want is to help the Queen. Is this true? Of course not. This is heresy of the highest order. The Council must know. So, we can either force the monarch to officially refuse to join this cult, prevent the counts from seeking private audiences with the Queen, or leave the counts to their business. So, I'd probably say, yeah, if you're looking to actually try and stop them, B would be the safest bet. Because while A lowers my authority, their goal is only 5. So you have to drop it by half. You have to drop it to 4. So if you really want to stop them, you're going to have to try and either delay for a season or really tank it. That said, it seems people are really thinking that this is going to drop my authority by 4. Throw in the March of Bone. Something like that. Ooh. Alright. Force the monarch to officially refuse to join this cult. The nobles leave you no choice. You sign a statement saying that you're not interested in immortality, not one bit. Authority goes down by 1. Okay. So, the scheme will advance this season. A growing crowd. Spymaster. Your Majesty, something is definitely happening at the university. People are massing outside the Library of Old Law. Are they giving out wine? We should go. It's true, people are gathering in the university courtyards, trying to catch a glimpse through the windows of the library. They are muttering. Leave them to it. They're happy enough. The crowd watch you arrive, observe, and leave. They seem most relieved. Over the next few months, the Library of Old Law becomes a nexus for revolutionary rhetoric. People talk openly about your legitimacy to the throne. Alright. Vultures. Chief Munra from Poland. Greedy marcher merchants are taking advantage of cheap northern labor, Your Highness, exploiting our natural resources and putting our trading companies out of business. They're vultures! Vultures! Baron Dirmouth. Is it really such a problem? This is just business. So, we'll either kick out the barons, put the trading companies back in northern hands. The Queen will buy up the Marcher trading companies, or it's just business, baby! I will leave it all in your capable hands. Alright. Voting is tied at 3, which means I get to pick. And let's see here. It's just business, baby. An utter travesty. I should have known better than to expect the council to be... for the council to be of any worth to anyone. Huzzah! My companies are safe. Glad this council sees sense for once. Alright. The Marcher companies in the north continue to tick over nicely, siphoning money out of the region and making Jeremy filthy rich. Trade is now wealthy for the barons. I like how they're like, oh man, we didn't get one check. Instant rebellion. It's time. Because what is the goal? 4? 5. Okay. So, truth and lies. While playing a game of chess in an austere castle, 2 counts of the East discuss their schemes against the crown. Count Vermeer. How exquisite! The queen is drunk with power. But I was thinking, should we really show the Queen the true secrets of our group?
County Titan. I thought that was the point. Immortality and all that.
Yes, but those secrets are meant to be, well, kept secrets. What if we pulled the wool over her eyes?
So, you can either plan a false immortality ritual for the Queen that will kill her, lower her own defiance, or induct the Queen into the real secret society of immortal blood drinkers, raise own farming. It's up to you, Counts. Do you want to actually offer me immortality, or do you want to fake it? Ooh, Vermeer wants to actually get a vampire queen. 'Cause funny. Welcome to the cult. Alright. So their goal is to raise their own farming. Very well. We must prepare for the ritual. Yes, I'll begin appeasing the spirits of the soil. But first, we must enrich our lands. By the blood of the dead, it won't be long now. For the final stage of their scheme, the Counts must raise their farming to at least 5. Also, our kingdom has gone so far to shit that to win, they just want you to hit 5. They want you to hit the midpoint, the average, where most stats start. We don't want to have someone to usurp you. You're legit going to be queen forever. Ooh. Can't deny immortality. Alright. Let's see here. So I've got monarch vote, reverse voting, call for unity. Let's see here. I'll pick up that. Alright, rebellion report. The chiefs of the north are on the verge of rebellion, and the others can't start a rebellion yet. Alrighty. Vicarious visitations. The capital. You're out on the palace balcony, enjoying the view, when you're suddenly accosted by Count T. Zayton, a wild look in his eyes. Your Highness, they're in my head. The crawlers, they have a message for you. How did you get up here?
The vessel is inadequate, but the tongue well works its words. You are the queen of this pitiful hive. You will listen and obey.
Who am I speaking to?
We are the Valga, and our words form this warning. Your hatchlings, like hollow-headed cattle, scurry in search of knowledge that will destroy them. Soon we will leave this land and enjoy softer soil. You will not follow.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Then our fears are realized. Know this, we will scatter you like ash if you impede us.
Count T. Zayton shakes his head suddenly, then blinks at you. What happened? Did they speak to you? You have to stop your research. But we're so close to understanding them. These strange creatures and their vast power. How could I? You will do as your queen commands. He storms off. You confiscate his books and research, just in case. You pray that this bizarre ordeal is finally over, and that you never hear from the mysterious Valgar ever again. Alright. The Wandering Bard. Your Majesty, a traveling bard. She says she has come to compose a song for you. Sally Six Fingers. Not just any bard, Your Highness. I'm the best in all the land. Sally Six Fingers, they call me. A song, you say? About me? Why, of course. In fact, I have the tune and verse all but ready. I've saved my best work for you, my queen. All I require is a subject. What should I tell the masses of you? What would you like to inspire? teach them to love me. I will do so, Your Highness. Absolutely. Give me but a few weeks, and everyone within the Crown Lands will know of your benevolence. Pray, I need only a small payment of 500 gold for the time. Discounted rate for one as esteemed as yourself. I'll pay you quadruple. Make it worth my while. Oh, Your Majesty. The bard scurries out of the throne room without delay. Unfortunately, Sally is a better salesperson than songwriter. She composes the song, but it fails to capture the hearts of your people. Sally! You were supposed to be the best. You have her perform it for you, but it's abysmal. Nothing rhymes. There's no rhythm. She doesn't even pronounce her name correctly. God damn it, Sally! Comet sighting. Count Vermeer. A blood-red comet was spotted in the night sky over the east, Your Grace. The peasants are claiming it's a terrible omen. The common folk are on the verge of panic. Is there anything I can do? We can either tell the church to dispel such baseless superstitions, I'll tell them there's nothing to worry about, or no, it's just peasants being peasants. Wait? Uh-oh. Why should we be waiting, Caffeine? We've got the Valgar, we've got a red comet. I'm sure nothing bad could come of this. Chiefs, if we rebel and hire an assassin, we can kill them, Mark. So they have no guards. The ninth provides. Deliver a speech reassuring... God damn it. I was supposed to fail. It was a 45%. I was trying to lower my authority for you, barons. Fortunately, the common folk take you at your word. After all, if the queen says something, you'd better listen. The peasants go back to work in their fields, ignoring the comment entirely. Uh-oh. Oh boy! Alrighty. So, continue to the rebellion report. The kingdom is in rebellion. The first side to earn 5 victory points will win. Victory points are earned through events. If the rebels are victorious, the monarch is overthrown. That said, I'm going to go use the restroom before we really get this show on the road. Welcome to the end game. The ninth provides. Alright, game on. Let's do this. Your heir. Your quest for an heir is finally complete. You stand before the council holding a small child in your arms. Should I die, I ask that my crown be passed down to... The council hall is filled with nervous silence. My daughter. The assembled nobles break out in polite applause. By designating an heir, you've cemented the stability of your kingdom.
My liege, may I be the first to congratulate you on the birth of your daughter. What is her name?
Calista II.
Huzzah, your majesty. I'm sure little Calista II will grow up to be a chip off the old block.
Congratulations on finding an heir. Now you just need to fulfill your ambition to win the game. Expect a visit from the Spy Master soon. I wish it was that simple. Rebellion. At long last, the chiefs have reached their boiling point. You are confronted in your throne room by Chief Munra from Poland, his tattoos seeming to shift in the light of the brazier. The chiefs of the north will rip that false crown from your head and stomp it into the mud. We will be fighting for glory, for honor, and for the storm, the true monarch. Or for storm, not the storm. For storm, the true monarch. This is a formal declaration of war. The next time we see each other, we'll be on the battlefield. Seize him.
Come along now. Traitors get the chop. What? But you can't do this. I'm an envoy. See? See how the Queen's tyranny grows worse by the day.
Your watchman wastes no time. Chief Munra from Poland is dragged out in the courtyard, and his head is struck from his shoulders. I didn't expect them to move so boldly, Your Majesty. Chief Munra from Poland has died. Munra from Poland II has joined the council. What are our chances against the rebels? The chiefs are formidable, but not undefeatable. I hope they don't persuade any other regions to join the rebellion. That would be disastrous. How do things get this bad? The leader of the rebellion is Chief Caffeine Forge. Reason for the uprising? They're citing your past transgressions, mainly that you deliberately spread the crystal pox.
Urge to murder. Rising.
Yes, Your Majesty. Hold on to that feeling. You'll need it. So this is it. Civil war. That's right, Your Majesty. The kingdom is divided. There'll be a lot of death and suffering before all this is over. I can't wait. I'll go take out the trebuchets. Alright, opening strike. Chief Caffeine Forge. Too long have those bastards in the Crown Lands held us down. Too long have they called us heathens and mocked our way of life. Aye! Now's the time to take up our axes and fight back. Morgana is with us. We'll burn their churches and string up their lying priests. Aye! Now I ask you, brave chiefs of the free North, where will we strike first? We can launch a preemptive strike against the Barons to cripple their military capabilities. If we suspect the Barons may join our cause, we can call them to war. They'll be more likely to join us if the Queen's authority is low. Or finally, we could send off an assassin and nip this in the bud. Dishonorable, of course, but convenient. What's it gonna be? Alright, they're unanimous. Voting is closed. Send an assassin after the Queen.
Thank you for meeting with me on such short notice.
Sum you offered piqued my interest.
You understand why the sum is so high, though?
Yes, you want me to assassinate the Queen. It isn't no trouble. I'm a child of the Viper. If you have the gold and you want a woman dead, she is dead.
Get it done.
Oh boy! The ninth provides, baby! In a distant fortress. Back in the march, at the castle of Baron, just a casual businessman. Number of figures crowd around an unassuming barrel.
Look here,
our first shipment from Kurth. Baron the little JD 09. Incredible.
May I see inside?
Careful with the torch, you fool! You'll blow us to smithereens! So this is the fabled black powder. Incredibly powerful, but we'll need much, much more to put you on the throne. For the next stage of their scheme, barons must raise their trade to 5 or more in 4 seasons. Alright, and it is auction time. Have at it, my nobles. I'm not sure if the chiefs can participate. I don't think they get to participate in council votes, but we'll see. As for our nobles list, here is everybody on the list. Okay. Here's the stats. The counts want to raise farming, barons want to keep their trade high, and the chiefs are in open rebellion against the crown. Alright, it's currently B and A is what we're looking at. E shooting up out of nowhere right at the end. 10 seconds to go. It's between E, B, and A. A springing up, pushing B down. B spiking up. A, E. Ooh. Alright, what was it? What got built? The Aqueduct, funded entirely by Count Zeiton. And the Grand Bazaar, funded by Baron Lil JD as the primary contributor. Into the Rebellion Report. Alright, we got Loyalists, Rebels, each side, whichever one. Let's see here. The first side to earn 5 victory points will win. Victory points are earned through events. If the Rebels are victorious, the monarch is overthrown. Something's wrong. It's an afternoon like any other. You're sitting atop your throne, listening to the petitions of the common folk. A merchant is droning on about the number of beggars in the capital's main square. Suddenly, you spot a flash of movement out of the corner of your eye. What's that? Hooded man steps forward from the crowd, unsheathing a lethal-looking blade from his belt. The merchant's droning stutters to a halt. Guards? Guards! Get back, your majesty! We'll protect you from this villain! The city watch rush forward, swords drawn. In an instant, the assassin is replaced by a whirl of flashing blades. A few seconds later, your protectors lie dead. As the assassin flings a blade, your life flashes before your eyes. You could really die here. Duck. 60% chance. You roll out of the way of the knife, but you're too slow. It sinks hilt deep into your shoulder. Challenge failed. Ooh, the ninth provides. You try to stand up, but your legs are weak. You collapse to one side, convulsing. It was poison, that bastard. Child of the Viper. Everything goes black. You fall into a deep abyss. After that, you linger for several days, fighting the poison that's coursing through your system, but it's no use. Your blood is running with enough venom to kill 10 queens. You'll never wake up. You'll never know whether the rebels won their civil war, though they probably got everything they wanted, thanks to your untimely death. Woo! All you know is, it's a horrible job being queen. Wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy. Well, maybe your worst enemy. Storm of the Chiefs, for example. We'll find out soon enough. And that is it. The ninth did not provide. Oh, man. Imagine. That's what the ninth protection means. Yeah, it means 60% chance, you know? Ah, fair enough. That was a close game. During a rebellion, Queen Calista was assassinated by the treacherous chiefs. The chiefs are victorious. After losing the civil war, the barons retreated to within their borders and immediately began plotting against the usurper. As a reward for staying loyal to the queen, the top counts were beheaded. In public, the survivors swore loyalty to the new regime. In private, they swore vengeance. The chiefs launched a rebellion that toppled the queen and devastated the kingdom. In the aftermath, nobody could stop them from taking the throne, and Storm was crowned to half-hearted cheers from the traumatized common folk. Fair enough. We swear vengeance for our fair Queen Calista. Calista II might be out there somewhere. Her fate is left unknown. Also, wasn't the Baron's faith 6, so maybe it was based on faith for the Knight's protection? That would be interesting. I doubt it, though. I think it was just 60% chance, maybe. God, that went so good. Oh, man, yeah. The fact that I tried to stop the counts from immediately getting first, second stage on, like, the first 2 rounds. I had to take the faith, otherwise they were going to pop the faith, and then Authority 5, and then they'd already be on stage 3 at, like, end of year 1. So by putting them off, by choosing to believe in the High Inquisitor, that's what you get for giving the Barons our trade. See, Rose, we could have let you ascend. Yeah, Yeah, maybe I should have taken up that immortality offer a little more seriously. Fair enough. Yeah, GG Chiefs. Alright. So, Queen Calista the Usurped. Her spouse was Grigor of the East. Her successor is Monarch Storm. She reigned for 2 years and 6 months. Nobles. Our wealthiest noble was just a casual businessman with 2,750. Our poorest noble was Lil JD09 with none left. Kingdom. Alright, so kingdom stats. We've got 4 authority, 4 stability, 5,000 treasury, and quite the diverse spread of region stats. We could have given you immortality by Belly Skelly Sai, but no, you refused that. The skeleton never offered me immortality. I seem to recall it was going to be a fate worse than death, perhaps. Ooh, Count Zayton speaking even after being beheaded, so I guess Count Zayton II still talking shit about the new monarch. Fate worse than death means you'd live forever. Interesting. Probably go insane, but yeah. Alright. And normally, since we did wrap up a little early, I would offer to do a second round, a second game. However, it is my mom's birthday, so I'm going to go and do my sonly duties and, you know, eat dinner with them and all that good stuff. But yeah, oh man, that was a good game. I was so staunchly trying to micromanage at the start to keep the schemes from progressing instantly that, yeah, I left myself open to assassins in the late game. Happy birthday, Rose Mom. I'll be sure to tell her that chat says good, you know, I was about to say good morning, but nah, sorry, I'm slightly out of it. I had a long day at work, but, happy birthday, Rose Mom. I'll be sure to tell her you say hello, and you wish her a happy birthday. Chiefs found a small, useful weak point to attack. Yup. Yup. It worked out quite nicely. Have a good birthday. I'll be sure to wish her a happy birthday from you all. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. And so I do plan to do another game of King of the Castle at some point here in the near future. Though I do have another stream coming up here in about 3 hours, which will be, it's raid night in Final Fantasy, so I'll be streaming that. It'll be Pandemonium 6 Savage. So, if that interests you, feel free to tune back in later tonight. Aside from that, if you're interested, drop a follow. That'll let you know when I go live next. And, yeah, I plan to play some more King of the Castle in the near future. So, have a good one, everybody. Take it easy. I'll see about, we'll see about, yeah. We'll go on a raid. Let's go. Let's see here. Who are we raiding today? Let's see here. Let's go ahead and raid, let's raid Kizzy. Kizzy sounds like it'll be fun to raid. Let's do it. Alright, and I'm gonna go ahead. I guess we'll do the raid and then I'll swap over to the ending screen. If I haven't yet. Alright. Onward we go. Be sure to give him a big heyo, H-E-Y-O exclamation point. Let's do it.